Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me. So, I was just reading an article from Breitbart News, which you guys can read on your own free time. You can go to the description box below, click onto that, look for the title, and you can read it on your own free time. But in that article, I was reading how that Biden was in a meeting with civil rights leaders in early September, and he basically suggested to Reverend Al Sharpton, that if he's healthy enough, he will run again in 2024. Needless to say, this would make him 82 years old. I think he's 79 now, the article says. This would make him 82 years old, and clearly he will be, well, right now it's the article, I think the article says he's the oldest president, and he would definitely be the oldest president if he runs again in 2024. Now, throughout that article, it did not say that he's definitely going to do it. It didn't say he's going to do it definitively. In fact, I believe on 60 Minutes in an interview, he stated that he didn't declare absolutely that he would. He just suggested that if his health is right, he would decide to run again in 2024. He also said as well that if Trump, who is clearly the candidate right now for the Republican Party, if he decides to run again, that this would give Biden the extra energy. I'm just paraphrasing it to say, hey, I'm going to run again. Now, I'm going to put this in there. If that's the case, if Trump decides to run again in 2024, then Biden's desire to want to run again will be only because he can't stand Trump and he's going to have to stop him. But that's okay. So we got that out of the way. So, all right. So if he decided to run again, as crazy as that may sound, in terms of his age and in terms of his cognitive abilities, everybody, whether they on the left or right, knows that he's not really where he needs to be psychologically. Everybody knows that. Okay. But my question is this: if he decides to run again, who's going to vote for him? That's my question, because I feel really, really bad for people who decide to vote for him a second time around, because what that would suggest to me is that individual is just voting based on party lines. I'm a Democrat and I'm a die Democrat and I don't care. And I always feel like that the reason why someone should vote for another person, and whether it's on a local level, state level, or federal level, is the real underlying reason why you should vote for that person is because of their policies. Now, should they have personality and charisma? Yes. Should they have the looks? Yes. Okay. Biden doesn't have any of that. So it makes me wonder why anybody would have voted for him to begin with in the first term. The man is dry. He's boring. He has no style. The only thing he has is the fact that he's a career politician. That's it. So it's almost like people voted for him simply because he's a career politician. Sad case. Sad case. So my philosophy is this: if you're going to vote for him, I ask you this question: why would you vote for him again in 2024? That's my question. Because when you look at the policies that he has promoted and pushed during his first term, it's been disastrous. It's been disastrous. And even the mainstream media cannot run away from that. And if you read that article, it'll give you the detail of the fact that we're in a financial crisis, economic crisis, energy crisis, the highest inflation in 40 years, all of these negative things. He don't want to blame. They want to shift it. The left wants to shift it to Trump. Man, come on now. We can do that all day. Point is that it's happening on his watch, on Biden's watch. That's what it's happening on. You can shift it to Trump all day. But the point is, it's happening on your turn. Now, if there had been Trump, they'd have been saying he's the cause of it. Well, you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's got to be the same thing on both sides. If you want to blame it on Trump for all the atrocities that happened during this time, it got to be the same thing with Biden. And I'm going to say it. He's the president right now. This is where all this stuff is going on. You got high crime in all the cities and states and so forth. We got this transgenderism stuff going on, being pushed in all the states and so forth. And Biden is encouraging it. You want to vote for him, it's on you. My thing is like this: I feel like people should ask relevant questions. Like, Although I want personality and charisma, what is his policies? Because those are the things that are going to basically dictate the course of the country for the next 4 years. Now, if you add into that his cognitive abilities, what the article mentions how he fell off the bike and he used, reading from the cars, and he fell off the bike and he was calling for, I think it was a representative, I forget her name, calling for her in the crowd when he was doing some kind of speech, and clearly she had died not too long ago, and he's calling for her in the crowd. You can basically question his cognitive abilities there. Yes, okay, everybody can question that, but him falling off the bike, people gonna fall off the bike. That's not really a reason to question someone's cognitive ability. Stuff like that happens. You can be 20 years old and fall off your bike. But things that are clearly a problem with him in terms of his mental abilities is clear from everybody, whether they on the Democratic side or the conservative side. So that should be an issue that should be considered. But I think the main issue, if he decides to run again, voters need to take in consideration is the man's policies. And I pray and hope, that's what I'm concerned about. I pray and hope that if he decides to run again, that people don't fall for the okie doke. And I have this fear in my heart that if he decides to run again, for whatever reason, please, I hope I'm wrong. Somehow he's going to get in. Somehow he's going to get in, because they have to push this liberal agenda. They have to push their globalist agenda. Biden is a globalist. Trump was not. Trump was in the way of the globalist elite. And the globalist elite consists of Democrats and Republicans. The swamp rats are consistent on both sides. Okay? They're career politicians. They have an investment in creating a global government. Trump was the hindrance to that. Biden is a supporter of that worldview. So if he decides to run again, I hope he doesn't, but if he decides to run again in 2024, for whatever strange reason, I feel like he's going to get it. Not because people voted for him, but because the elites want him in. They want him in so that he can continue to push the agenda. And the man going to be so old and so messed up. If his brain is messed up now and he becomes 82 years old, talking about something if I'm healthier. What you going to need to do, bro, to get healthier by the age of 82? What are you going to need to do? Take new drugs? Get a brain transplant? What? I don't know. More than likely, you're not going to be healthier, more than likely. More than likely, you're not. A lot of this more than likely contributes to your age and maybe some stuff you eat, I don't know. But I don't think that's going to happen, But if you decide to do it, if he decides to run in 2024, he's still going to have the same, I believe, in my opinion, the same cognitive disabilities that he has now. So you add that to this agenda that he's going to be pushing, then one could summarize or surmise it this way. If he decides to run again in 2024 and his cognitive abilities are kaput completely, like his brain will be like mush. Like when he speaks, mush will come out of his mouth. That's how messed up his brain is going to be if he decides to run in 2024. The handlers behind him, like they are now, will be giving him what to say and how to say it, when to say it. But this time they're going to be more careful. This time they're going to handle everything strictly. Every little detail will be handled if he decides to run again. I'm just giving you my opinion. If he decides to run again in 2024, every little detail will be handled, and his handlers will make sure won't make the same mistakes they made in his first term. Oh, we messed up by letting him read that. They'll probably have somebody standing beside him when he gives his speech and make all the viewers think, oh, that's just somebody there to just his advisor or whatever, because we're gonna start something new. We're gonna have advisors standing next to the president just to advise them. And so, no, he's going to be his handler, and he's going to, tell him what to do, or just have an earpiece in his ear. Have an earpiece in his ear and say, okay, Biden, don't read from the cards. Remember, when you finish with the speech, just cut off and say thank you for your time or whatever. Don't read the last few words and say, don't do that, Biden. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Something like that. But this is sad, and it's also sad too. When I read an article how that Well, I won't even say sad. I say infuriates me when you get people like Al Sharpton, who clearly is a race hustler. He has to push the racial thing because that's how he gets paid. That's how he gets his donations in his organization. If he doesn't push the race narrative, then he's not going to get the donations. So that's how he makes his living. So basically, the way I see it, Al Sharpton makes his living by lying. And of course, it would make sense for Biden to be in a meeting talking to civil rights leaders. Yeah. My thing is like this, man. Black people collectively really have to wake up and see what the Democrats is doing. Democrats is playing you, man. I'm telling you. They ain't playing me. I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I'm just going to tell you what it is. They ain't playing me because I'm not voting for these Negroes ever again. White Democrat, black Democrat, whoever. Your policies are the same. I don't support it. It's evil. And I'm not going to support you. I don't care who you are. I'll put up with a moderate Democrat. Like I said in previous videos, I'll put up with them, but I won't vote for you. But these people, these Democrats they got right now, no. And I pray and hope that blacks will wake up and see what the Democrats are doing to them, what they're doing to the communities, how they're soft on crime, and everywhere you turn around, people getting shot. And then I hope black people will wake up and see that it's large in part due to Democratic policies. They want to take your guns away from you, and the criminals still keep the guns. Please, someone try to make that make sense to me. Make that make sense to me. Why, when the gun violence rises up in the city, the first thing these boneheaded Democrats start saying is, let's have more gun control. How stupid can you be? Don't you think the issue could be that you going soft on crime and the police officers arrest these criminals, they put them in jail, and because of these liberal judges and liberal DAs and so forth, they say, oh, that's all right, we'll let them out because they don't have the money to pay for their bond. We'll let them out. We feel so sorry for them. Oh, they don't have any money to pay. Oh, we feel so sorry for them because they're living in an oppressed society, they're living in poverty. Man, don't make me say something I shouldn't say on this channel. I'm trying to be professional. Come on, man. Come on, man. And I hope black people will wake up and see that these Democrats are playing you, man. You keep voting for what you vote for, you're going to keep getting what you get. That's just the way it is. And I know I sound like I'm preaching, but y'all know I'm passionate about this kind of stuff. I do this not because I ain't got nothing else better to do. I'm a fiction writer. I write books and short stories, got dozens of them. I spend hours doing that. So I could be doing something else. I do this because I try to stay informed. I read, I study. And because my gift is that of teaching, I try to communicate that information to others. I try to add value to other people's lives by illuminating them the best way that I know how. I try to pass down what God has helped me to understand to other people so that their eyes can be open. Even though my channel is in the entertainment section, I don't just want to entertain you. I also want to inform you if you don't know. But that's just the way it is, man. And so if he decides to run again in 2024, I got this funny feeling he's going to win. And if he wins, America's over. America is over if he runs again in 2024. I pray and hope that doesn't happen. And I pray and hope that when election time comes, that blacks and whites will see what the Democrats are actually doing to this country and decide not to vote for them. Period. Bottom line. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all and see you again.